The 2024 edition of the Welsh Open concludes today as Martin O'Donnell and Gary Wilson play out over 2 sessions the best of 17 frames to lift the Ray Reardon Trophy. Most of you will know Gary Wilson after his Scottish Open win back in December, which made it 2 consecutive tournament wins in Edinburgh. However, some of you may be unfamiliar with his opponent, Martin O'Donnell, who is ranked 76th in the world and is playing in his first ever professional final. The semi-final on Saturday was also his first ever semi-final. His best ever finish in a tournament was in the UK Championship back in 2018, where he was beaten in the quarter-finals by eventual winner Ronnie O'Sullivan. As we move on to prize money, the winner will receive £80,000 while the runner-up receives £35,000. Gary Wilson has already made £5,000 because of his 147 in the semi-final, which means he's made the highest break of the tournament. The only way he can split that money now is if Martin O'Donnell makes a 147 in the final. Martin O'Donnell has really elevated his game this week as he's beaten Luca Brissell, Marco Fu and Chris Wakelin along with a couple of others on his way to the final. He reminds me a little bit of Zhang Anda in the way that he's so unfazed or unbothered by anything that's going on. He just focuses on his own game and he knows what's happening on the table when he's sitting down. It's nothing to do with him. I really hope that this isn't just a good run in the tournament for him and we won't see him again because he's an absolute class act and I'd really like to see him get further in more tournaments. To be in his first final the season after qualifying for the tour from Q School, it just shows you that he really means business and he could be a real good player to watch in the future. We move on to Gary Wilson, who will obviously be the bookies' favourites. He's like 1 to 3 to win the tournament, whereas Martin O'Donnell is more between 2 to 3 to 1. Gary Wilson's made a bit of a habit of winning the Scottish Open as he's won it 2 consecutive times. He won it in 2022 and 2023. And he really looks to be kicking on. The theme of last season was Gary Wilson did really well to win the tournament in Edinburgh, but then he just fell off and didn't perform in any other tournaments. But he's really backing up this tournament win with another run. The way he blew away John Higgins in the semi-final, going 4-0 up, was just unbelievable. And if he does this against O'Donnell, I really can't see him catching Wilson. O'Donnell and Wilson have won 4 matches each against each other, but a lot of them are quite small competitions and I wouldn't really put them down in comparison to a final. Their biggest meeting was in the UK Championship back in 2015, which Wilson won 6-3 in the last 128 match. It's always a big if because usually it happens when you're trying to kill off the game, but if he can just keep going and forget about his emotions, then O'Donnell can win this based off the way he's played this week. However, you always find some players just breeze to the final and they look so confident and then it all falls apart. And this is what happened to Zhang Anda in the English Open final against Judd Trump. Now, all I'll be hoping for is a great match. I'm not going to be rooting for anyone in particular, but my prediction is Wilson wins this 9-5. I think it could be close at first and then I think Wilson will start to pull away. And is it possible we might see the 200th professional 147 break in the final of the Welsh Open? We'll see. Who do you think will come out on top today between Gary Wilson and Martin O'Donnell? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like and follow for daily snooker roundups and news. Thanks for watching.